What is going on, party people and basketball fans Australia-wide? Welcome to the first edition of the Hawks Hangout presented by the Basketball Fix podcast. I'm first co-host Sammy D. James, and with me today I've got my co-host, Flying Soren Man, Corey Stamp. What's going on, Corey?
Oh, not too much, mate. Still buzzing after that huge victory against the Pussycats yesterday. Incredible.
Absolutely, mate. I think that was an absolute statement win. 120 to 88 victory over, as you said, the Pussycats. I think that was just an absolute commanding win for us. And some news as well that we got received this morning for the first time in NBL history. The Hawks will wake up Christmas Day atop the NBL ladder. So watch out, people. Championship season, here we come.
No chip talk. No chip talk.
Yes, mate.
Mate,
chip talk.
No
all
chip
the
talk.
way.
Hey,
all the way.
I've been a long fan of the Hawks, and I'm telling you, we can't be having any jinxes. This is the only thing that's going to stop us.
No.
I'm putting no chip talk.
No chip talk.
It's happening.
Okay.
It can't happen. This is the number one rule for our podcast is there's no chip talk.
No chip talk. All right. No chip talk. I can do that. All right. Let's get into a game review of that game. What an absolute beast of a performance by the Hawks. 32-point demolition job on Perth and Bryce Cotton. From the opening tip, it was just absolutely clear that those boys were locked in. They were executing on both ends of the floor. Our defense absolutely suffocated Bryce, and they absolutely had no answers for us come, halftime.
Yeah, the game was over at halftime. I think it was 63-48.
48,
like total dominance. Like anytime you can beat Perth 3 times in the season, it's pretty good. The only thing that will top that is if we on Christmas Day can make it 3-0 against the Kings this season as well. Trey Kell, what a performance from that guy. Hey, he started the season amazingly. Had a little bit of a drop with that injury, but we don't need him to be brilliant every single week. But when he can put performances up like that, 31 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, just an amazing performance. I've brought a little nickname for him out. Smell the Kell, because he is nasty.
Smell the Kell.
I'm telling you, he was unbelievable. The guy can score at multiple levels. That's his biggest thing for him. I think he can get it to the hole. He can go through traffic. He can score. He seems to draw fouls better than anyone else in the Hawks. He can hit the 3. He's got that mid-range, which is a dying art. Just big fan of him. I just love a big guard in the NBL. It just gives you a point of difference. I think that was a genius move from Tatum, signing Kell for this season. Last night even, there was times where we had Hickey and Harvey on the court at the same time, and he slotted into the 3. That's a luxury that not many other teams have. So, huge Kell fan. Massive performance last night.
100%, mate. Would you put him back in MVP conversations?
You know what? I don't really want the Hawks to have the MVP. I think our greatest strength is that we have that quality team. We don't just rely on one player. Any player on any given night could be the person who leads us to victory. That's what I love about this team this season. So if I'm being honest, I think if we get any chance of, I'm not going to say it, we can't have the league MVP. That's just my opinion.
League MVP. Finals MVP?
Oh, I'll take that, but no chip talk. I told you that.
Got to sneak it in there somehow, mate. All right. Speaking of MVPs, who have you got for the game MVP?
That was pretty easy. I think, Trey Kell definitely game MVP. Outstanding performance, but special mention to Wani Swakala-Bullock. He was outstanding on Cotton defensively. Cotton 13 first quarter points, and I have to say I was worried. After he started quietly, he didn't get a point until probably about the 5th minute of the first quarter. Then he just went bang, 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 13, and I was like, we're on 50. Watch here. But Wani, incredible job for him not to score again. I know wasn't as big a minutes as he normally has, but still not to score another point for the next 3 quarters. incredible performance.
Yeah, and considering someone who's just come off 4 back-to-back 40-point games, like we went into this game going straight away, like, okay, everyone that we spoke to, even us together, we were like, yeah, no worries, he's going to have over 40 points. It's going to be close, but to come out and win by 32 in front of your home crowd, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that for Christmas.
No.
So
only been in Sydney on Christmas. I'll top it off.
Speaking of, obviously next game, Wednesday, Christmas night hoops, Sydney Kings, Kudos Bank Arena. Now, Sydney Kings, I don't know, man. They're coming into a solid run of form. This matchup, freeway series, it's always one to watch. It's always a good one to watch televised, watch live. I don't think the Kings can get it done, man. They're hot and cold. They're hot and cold. They only just have beaten teams the past few games. Like, I think since that Tasmania game that they have, the last 4 or 5 games have all been within single-digit points. Even the last game, like, to come from behind to beat New Zealand, like, it was just ridiculous for a team that's, broken the salary cap and, done whatever they've had to scrounge players and get
what did Derek Rucker say? If they don't make the championship series, what's he going to do? He's going to walk a pretty long way, he said, I think. So
yeah,
he may be feeling the pressure, Derek, at this stage. But I think that the Hawks on betting deserve probably to be favourites in this one. But I'll be lying if I wasn't worried. I respect Gorge as a coach and I respect their playing roster. They've got some great players. Probably my biggest worry is that we're just coming off that big game yesterday. So the Hawks have a short turnaround. That could be an issue for the Hawks. But the late tip-off could work in the Hawks' favour, the 8:30 tip-off. The Hawks have travelled to Perth this year, I think, twice on a Friday night. So they've had the benefit of dealing with those sorts of times. So I think that could potentially help us. Also help with our recovery as well, getting that little bit longer to recover for this game. Yeah, but I still think don't underestimate the Kings.
Yeah, 100%. I think offensively, definitely look for the Hawks to try and swing it and exploit the Kings' weaker perimeter defenders. Just chucking it out to Harvey. Trey Keller's just come off of 31, 5 and 5, as you said. Swinging it out to someone like Lee. Lee was pivotal right there towards the end. Even Peatling getting some more minutes and trying to get it inside to him. We run about 9 deep in the team that, most of them can shoot from beyond the arc. So, if we exploit that defensively, I don't think the Kings can match what we have. Yeah,
I think the Kings, they've got to come and bring energy. I think if the Kings don't bring the energy, our trademark this season has been the fast starts. Last night, 37 points, but that wasn't the only time. That's been a big thing for the Hawks this year, is racking up big totals in that first quarter, putting teams under pressure. I feel if the Kings don't bring it in that first quarter, it could be danger signs for them. But I think that Gorge is smart enough to know that that's the case. So he'll have his players up for that first quarter, ready to go, and he'll have them locked in. So, I think it'll be a good one.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out to the young guns this season as well. Obviously, massive big shout out to Winey last night. You take the guy who's in MVP conversations, 4 back-to-back 40-point plus games, and you held him to 13 points for 1 quarter. Didn't touch the ball, didn't score again. You and I looked at each other, Corey, last night in the last quarter. He's had 5 minutes left to go in the game, and they put him on ice because they were like, the game's done. I don't think I've seen Perth do that in quite some time now, especially with Price playing the entire first quarter to then sit for the last 5 minutes of the game and not even, they just gave up.
Yeah.
And I think, for us, if we're just absolutely demolishing teams like that, for them to just go, okay, you know what, there's no point risking injury. There's no point risking guys anymore. We're just going to put them on ice. Watch out.
Yeah.
Because we're coming.
That rarely happens with Perth. I know really probably the opposite to me. He probably wants his team to have the MVP of the league to make him look a bit better as a coach maybe. But, very rarely does he put him on ice. He seems like he wants him to rack those stats up. So I was a little bit shocked when they took him off at the end. I thought that he may have wanted to try to get some easy points when we put our young guns on. It's always good. I love it when the last 5 minutes or so and they get a good chunk, not just like a minute or 30 seconds. Our boys coming off the bench, so Triplet and even McDowell White getting a little run, which was nice. Would have been nice for him to get a bucket, but just couldn't get that done. But so good when you see, like, one thing I love about the Hawks is we just have that like team chemistry. Like when those young guys get on, they're really excited for them. Like the other week, Luca hit a big 3 and there was a great photo on social media of the whole bench going absolutely wild for him. So I love that. I think they're the little 1%ers that teams need to be a bit of a difference maker and get over other teams. If you have that team chemistry, I think it goes a long way to getting those wins on the ladder.
Yeah, 100%. Now, you mentioned before, Corey.
Yes.
Nickname for Trader Man Kel III. Smell of a Kel because
Yes.
he's nasty.
He's nasty.
He's nasty.
Yeah.
Now, I've been hearing some things, mate. I've been hearing some things.
All right.
Apparently, you've got some nicknames in store for me.
Yeah, I do, mate. I've got a few up my sleeve. The first one I'm going to go with is Mason Peatling. Now, I'm labeling him as 6 again. So I know, like, this NBL, we don't have like not all NRL teams in the places that NBL's played, but in the NRL, if you get a reset, you get 6 tackles again. And I feel like the offensive rebound is the equivalent of getting like a reset. All right, getting the ball back again, resetting the shot clock. So yeah, I'm going Peatling 6 again because like he loves that O-boards. He just gets under their muscles, gets that reset for us 6 again, and he just goes with the flow. So a big Mason Peatling fan, but he's our 6 again. Got another one for you. Wani. Yeah, right. I'm calling Wani COVID.
COVID?
Yeah.
Why COVID, mate?
Because he's Wani Swaka La lockdown. He just locks down people. That's what he does. And what happened in COVID? We bloody got locked down. All right, so he will be known as COVID. Wani Swaka La lockdown.
Wani Swaka La lockdown.
Yep.
I'm feeling like we need to put these on shirts and give them to the players or something, mate.
We might have to do that, mate. Yeah, bit of merch for the Hawks Hangout.
Bit of merch, Basketball Fix branded shirts,
Yeah.
Hawks Hangout,
Let's
Wani
do it.
Swaka La lockdown.
Let's do it.
Bring back the COVID mask, mate.
My next one. I think you might like this one, but I don't know. You're a bit young, so I don't know if you know this band, but I know your dad, and I'm pretty sure he would have liked him. The next one is Sam Froling, and I call him Limp Biscuit. And the reason why I'm calling him Limp Biscuit is because he is Sam Froling. Sam Froling. Yes. All right, that's why we got him as Limp Biscuit. All right, so next one. All right, this guy. He's been one of our longest serving imports, and hopefully he's going to be naturalised. That's the rumour. That'll be great, and hopefully he stays with us. Harvey. All right, Harvey's nickname is the bathroom.
The bathroom.
Bathroom.
Do I even want to ask why you're going to call him the bathroom, mate?
I am. You're going to ask. You should have to know. All right.
Why'd you call him the bathroom?
Because he likes to splash. He likes to splash plenty of threes, but also he's a Tyler. See what I did there? All right. He's a Tyler. So he is the bathroom. Tyler Harvey is the bathroom. That's what we're talking. That's what we're calling him moving forward. I'm telling you, it's going to stick. It's going to stick.
Like a tile.
Like a Tyler. Well, he's a Tyler. Tyler Harvey.
Oh, the dad jokes. I just.
Hey, you're going to get them. You're going to keep coming, mate. So get used to it. Get used to it.
Oh.
Get used to it.
Speaking of, with Harvey being naturalised, if that does happen and he re-signs with the Hawks as a natural player, that does open up an import spot. Now, if you could add any player to the team, import, naturalise, whatever you could do, if that happens, who would you have and why?
Great question. I think the only real weakness I can see in the Hawks at the moment is probably our bigs, our fives, just don't have the ability to stretch the floor. So Froling, obviously, doing a great job under the bucket. So is young fella Olbrich, but just they both don't really have the ability to hit the three. I know Lockie hit the three quite well in the lower leagues. He did well in New Zealand NBL and got the league MVP there. But he was hitting the three at quite a high clip. It just hasn't seemed to be able to translate to NBL. So I feel yeah, that's probably our biggest weakness. So if that was the case and we could get, I may not necessarily get an import, I'd maybe look for like a marquee Australian. And I'd love to see Nick Kay come back to the Hawks. Big fan of Nick Kay. He does a lot of the 1% things, but he also can stretch the floor. He can hit that three at a pretty decent clip, but he's just tough, works hard. And I think that blue collar, he just would just give everything the Hawks needed, and I just would love him to be a Hawk again.
Yeah, and I definitely think he'd fit back into the system of the Hawks as well. As you said, that blue collar, just get down, get into it, get in the mud, get gritty. He'd fit in with people like your Davos, your Lockies. And even if you had him in there, you had him in the starting lineup, or you do what they've done with Days now, and, he comes off the bench for whatever reason, he can stretch that floor where you can push Sam back to the four, where he's comfortable playing, like we saw when we had Reef playing for us.
Yeah.
Because that Reef would just let it fly from beyond the arc, and he was an offensive threat that it would exploit the defense of the other team and make them come up. So the hole was open, and all Sam had to do was, as you can, keep rolling straight to that basket. So even if we had someone like a Nick Kay in there, I feel like Sam's rolling game would take it to a next level, as we saw a few seasons back there.
Yeah, I agree. I think Sam's a great player, and I think he's going to be a long-serving player in the NBL for a long time. No, he's got aspirations for the NBA, and I hope he gets there. But I think if he's going to get to the NBA, he probably has to add something to his game, probably like improve his free throw shooting, which he has a little bit this year, and probably bring in some sort of mid-range or that three ball, which, funnily enough, he used to have the three ball when he first started for the Hawks. That was his game. He was a stretch guy. But I think when Gorge came to the Hawks, he worked really hard on him having an inside presence. And so it's probably maybe taken a little bit away from that outside threat, but he's got the ability to do it. But yeah, if he wants to get to the next level, I think that's what he has to do.
100%. Now, this is going to be a controversial segment of our show. And I know our boss is probably going to be watching this right now, and that he is a Wildcats fan. So we do have to be careful. Corey, would you like to introduce our next segment?
Okay, what's our next segment? Tell me.
Me telling me?
Yeah, tell me.
All right.
Tell me.
All right. We're doing Flog Watch, guys.
Flog
Watch. Now, I think that, you and I are very respectable. We get very involved and very enthusiastic, as some people would like to say in the game.
I agree. And I know that both of us play a little basketball. I'm not going to say we're brilliant. We coach a little basketball. We spectate a lot of basketball. And people may think that, potentially, we're flogs. And I may even agree on court. So just want to preface this by saying that when we talk about Flog Watch here, we're only talking about what we see on the court. I'm sure all these people, all these players are amazing people off the court. I'm pretty sure we think that we're pretty decent guys off the court. But on the court, on the sidelines, on the bench, sometimes, we may be seen as being flogs. So just don't take it to heart, guys. This is just a little segment that we thought would be fun. Let's kick it off. What do you reckon?
100%, mate. Who have you got for me?
Okay, so we're going to be looking at the Sydney Kings. That's our next game. So obviously being our arch rivals, not a big fan of the Kings. So there's quite multiple level of flogs in the Kings. I've got some nominees for you, mate. So I'm going to rattle off 3 nominees. And if you want to add any nominees, you can do that. But I've got 3 nominees. And I'd like you to tell me who you would pick, and then I'll do the same. Okay, so the 3 nominees. First one is Mr. Bruce. Okay. Second nominee, all right, Xavier Cooks. And third nominee, Quite Noy. Who's your biggest flog out of those 3?
Out of those 3?
Yeah.
I mean, don't tell an Illawarra crowd to shush, mate. You can't come in to a packed WEC entertainment centre and tell the crowd to shush. You ended with 2 points and 4 fouls, mate. Big Kuat, we're coming for you. You're at home this week. You know what? It'll be Wani's turn to tell you guys to shush when we've beaten you by another 30 points. So watch your back, mate. Watch your back. I would have said Xavier Cooks, being a hometown boy, being a trader and all the rest of it, and going and chasing the big money, going to the NBA and then coming back for some lucrative deal with Daddy Gorgian. But we all know that, the under the table money just was too good for him to not go back. But Kawatnoi for me would be the Flog watch this week.
All right. Well, I'm probably going to have to agree there, but I'll just add to a couple of little things. Yeah. Xavier Cooks, his dad was a former Hawks coach, so that even hurt more when he chose to go to the Kings. Bruce, the reason why I've got him in the nominees is it still burns me when we played them in our season where we were struggling so hard. Everything went against us. Injuries at 1,000 imports, just couldn't get a win for the life of us. And they run a play, hit Bruce in the corner, and he does the Curry celebration. Oh, my God, what a flog. All right, come on. Seriously, Curry has earned the right to do this, put you to sleep celebration. Brucey, you have not earned the right. But I'm going to have to agree with you as the biggest flog in the Kings is Noi. He's very annoying. I can't handle him. He likes to silence the crowd after he scores 2 points. He likes to go out and say lots of things in the media. I remember when he was a rookie and he was saying that he's going to get Rookie of the Year over LaMelo Ball. I like confidence, but, man, that's a bit too far. So he's on that borderline of confidence and arrogance. He sort of falls on the arrogant side, I believe. He's even come out in NBL 1 in grand final series, guaranteeing victories like he's Michael Jordan, and he gets blown out every single time he guarantees them. So, pretty big sign of a flog, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%, mate. And speaking of night celebrations, someone who I definitely think deserves to start doing that in the NBL, my main man, Tyler Harvey. I mean, you can't go wrong. 402 3-pointers in the NBL, most for an import. At end of the first quarter there, I mean, you and I just looked at each other. He pulled up from halfway, just absolutely sunk a bomb.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable for a player of his caliber. Now that, as you've said, we've got, a bigger point guard in there, Harvey can just go do his thing. He doesn't have to, drop the 30, 40 points, 25, 5 and 6 or whatever he was dropping when he had to, because we just had absolutely no one there to help him offensively. I mean, Justin Robinson had his, time and his flashes and glimpses of hope. Gary Clark had his glimpses of hope there last year, and that was an unfortunate loss for us. But I just think with the system that Tatum's tried to build this year, Harvey's game has just taken it to another level. The dimes he was dropping last night, no look pass, flick over the top, straight to Frawling, just tip in, was absolutely unreal, man.
Yeah.
I think he'll be big come playoff time.
Yeah.
I'm saying playoffs. I'm not saying the C word.
That's all right.
I'm not saying the coveted C word that I cannot say here.
That's all right. You can say playoffs.
But I'll say playoffs. It'll be a lock, and I'm looking forward to it.
I definitely agree with you. He's earned the right to do that sort of celebration. But I'm not a big fan of it. But if you've hit 400 threes, but I just don't think Tyler's the sort of guy who would do it. But I think he's super keen, Tyler. He's been at the Hawks for a long time, been there when we've had some tough seasons. Most imports would have run and said nah, but he's stayed strong to the Hawks. He's had his ups and downs too, but he's rolling this season. I think he's fitting in really well with the roster. And he's really enjoying playing basketball. So that's good signs for the Hawks moving forward.
100%. Now, you and I, we love to do a little multi here and there on our games. I put one on last night. It didn't come through. Did not come through. Bryce, you let me down, mate. You let me down. I was going into the game thinking,
that's a good thing he let us down, though.
A great thing that he let us down. I'll take the 32-point plus win. But, hey, when I had him down for 45-plus points, rebounds, and assists, come on, mate. What are you doing?
Mate, I'd waste $10 every week. I should do that, actually. I was on the kiss of death when I put a multi on. I just can never seem to get one. So I'd use that power for good. So I'd normally usually put money on the other team so I can help the Hawks win. So it's worked plenty of times, just quietly.
Worked plenty of times. There you go. Now, your same game multi for the Kings game. Corey.
All right. So
I've
got it up here. So I'm just going to have a little quick look. So I've got Will Hickey to get 4+ boards. I really like his ability to sneak in there and just anticipate. He has the ability to get those O boards, especially get second chance points. I just have a feeling he could get 4+. I think this is an absolute lock. Xavier Cook's 8+ rebounds. He seems to get lots of rebounds against the Hawks, often off his own misses. But yeah, so he likes to get those in and just rack up 3 quick ones with his own misses and then put it in. So I think he'll get 8+ quite comfortably. I'm going to stick with what I said earlier. Might be the kiss of death on them, but the Hawks' first quarters have been outstanding. So I'm going to go the Hawks to win the first quarter. And then my last one is the Hawks have been racking up some scores. I know I've looked at the previous scores when they played the Kings, and they haven't always been massive scores, but I just feel like the Hawks are rolling and the Kings are going to know that they're going to have to try to match them offensively. I'm going over 184.5, and that is $10 multi. That's $10. Juicy $10.
There you go.
Right? But go at your own risk because, like I said, I am the kiss of death. But my money's not on. I guarantee I'm not putting my money on. So you'd be a bit more of a chance.
There you go. As we said, remember, these are just fun. Like always, gamble responsibly. We do not endorse going out and spending millions of dollars on gambling. It's just for a bit of fun here and there, guys.
Yeah.
Yes. And lastly, Corey, big question for you. Hawks predictions for the rest of the season, mate. For the rest of the season, what do we think? Who's going to be a standout? Where are we going to finish? What's your predictions?
I think these next 3 games are big for the Hawks. So we've got obviously the Kings away, then we've got Brisbane away. Then we come back home on New Year's Eve and we play Phoenix. I think if we can get 2 out of those 3, it sits us quite nicely, I think, at 13 and 6. I think then we can really push for a top 2 position, which I think that should be what they're looking for. If we can get all 3, that'll be amazing. But I think we can really push for a top 2 position. I think one of the Hawks' biggest strengths this year has been Tatum. I think a lot of people, when he got signed as coach, were a little bit worried when they looked at his history of coaching, mostly high school level. But what he brings is that player management. He's able to get the best out of his players. I think that's a huge thing in professional sports. Everyone knows the X's and O's and tactics, but being able to get your players to play for you without really asking them to play for you is a bit of a Wayne Bennett thing, where he has the ability to players want to just play hard for him, but he never asked them to do it. So I think Tatum has that as well, where the players just want to win. He seems to have a chemistry, asks things of players, he knows their strengths, and he just also gives confidence to his players by telling them, if you're a shooter, you shoot the ball. All right, if you bring energy when you come up, bring the energy. That's what you got to do for me. He just keeps it simple and they get it done. And I also love about Tatum is the way that he uses his assistant coaches. I think he trusts them a lot, and that doesn't happen across the league. If you watch the Hawks bench, they're highly involved, the assistant coaches. So they all, obviously, like the players, have their role, what they need to do, and Tatum trusts them to do that. And obviously Tatum, if the Hawks don't play well, he cops it, but he puts a lot of trust into his assistants, and I think that's a big, big thing.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's been absolutely invaluable to have come on full-time this season and signing on for the next 3 as well. That mentality that he's brought in there, and we've touched on this episode as well, of just getting into the mud, that next man up mentality. There was a time there where, we obviously didn't have Trey Kell in the lineup due to injury, but it was that next man up mentality. Davo stepped up, Lockie stepped up, everyone stepped up to fill those shoes. Lee filled those shoes, Wani, he just, as we said before, that depth that we've got is going to go a long way when it comes down, to the back end of this season, especially after New Year as well. We hit those 3 games, that puts us 16 and 5. There's only about 4 or 5 rounds after that before we start looking at playoffs in, end of February. But I think it's just one of those things where, as you said, the entire bench just gets behind it, whether it's a development player right on the end like Kwani or Kobe, or, even Big Zook, as you said the other day, where he hit that massive 3. They all have just played a part in shaping this team. You see them out and about in town. You know, there's a whole group of them together, team bonding, going for coffee, going for a breakfast, going for a walk. It's something that we've never really seen here in the Illawarra before, is that a team that's just surrounding themselves together and, you know, building each other up. It's always just been this one player out mentality. And that's something that Tatum's really tried to shift this year. It's also been good to see good old Illawarra legend Matty Flynn back on the bench as well, trying to bring some of that, you know, early 2001 culture back in there.
It's going to be the NBL 1 coach too, which is good. So let's hope that we can see a little bit more of a crossover. So some of those players potentially who are those young guns who play for the Hawks can step into the NBL 1 team and play under Flinney, which would be nice to see. So hopefully that's in the process. Don't know if it will be, but NBL 1 team has struggled a little bit, especially last season. So that would be nice to see some of those players who often sit on the bench, the young guns, stick around and have a crack for the NBL 1 team. Would be really nice.
Yeah, 100%. But yes. All righty, guys. That is all we have got for today. We appreciate you guys listening, watching, whatever you guys are doing from here on out. Please remember to like, follow, share on all of our socials. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, whatever media platform that you use, we're on it. Find us at the Basketball Fix. We'll be starting our own Hawks Hangout page in the next couple of days as well. Look for tips, hints, tricks, game day footage as well in there. We had a little sneaky interview with a local celebrity, which we're not going to reveal. It'll be up to you guys to go and watch it. But that's all from us for now. We'll catch you on the flip side after the Kings game. Go Hawks.
Now, make sure if you see us at the games, you come and say hello. But I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a safe Christmas and Happy New Year. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.